Hello viewers, welcome to ICSC Board Class 10 Biology. This is episode 3.1.3. In the previous episode we have seen about the external structure of the heart. Here in this episode we are going to talk about the internal structure. So external structure we have talked about pericardial fluid, its function. We have talked about the blood vessels entering the heart and coming out of the heart and their function. We have seen the diagram of the external structure of the heart, and here we are also going to talk about it once again, as well as we are going to see the internal structure of the heart. So let us see the internal structure of the heart. So internal structure of the heart shows that it has chambers which are separated through the septums, and those septums are nothing but the partitions between the auricles and ventricles, and between the auricles and between the ventricles. So here you can see the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. Then you can see certain structures, fibrous, that is chordae tendineae, valves. You are able to see the valves here between the right and auricle and right ventricle. There is tricuspid valve. Between the right ventricle and left ventricle you can see the septum, which is with the His and Purkinje nerve fibers. You can see the valve between the left auricle and left ventricle, known as bicuspid valve. So all these things are there. I'm going to show you, we are going to discuss, and I'm going to explain about all these things in details. In the internal structure of heart, you don't require to know about each and everything about basically here, as it is mentioned as brachiocephalic artery. You don't require to know common carotid artery or subclavian artery. You don't require to know, because it is not in your syllabus. It is there in grade 11. So we are going to stick to your syllabus, and we are going to study about the internal structure of heart. Let us see the another diagram. So this is the diagram. This shows the circulation inside the heart, from where the deoxygenated blood enters. Then let me revise once again. We have all seen all these things we have seen in the previous episode related to external structure of the heart, but let me revise here. The deoxygenated blood enters from the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, and it is entering into the right auricle. From the right auricle it enters into the right ventricle, from right ventricle to pulmonary trunk into the lungs. From the lungs, the purification, after purification takes place, it comes out, it enters into the left auricle to left ventricle. From here it enters and comes out. From left auricle enters into the left ventricle, and from left ventricle it comes out through the aorta to the different parts of the body. So this is the internal flow of the blood that it is occurring inside the heart. We'll see one by one. Let me draw once again. So it enters from here, it enters from here, from here it enters into the right auricle, from right auricle to right ventricle, from right ventricle to lungs, from right ventricle to lungs, from lungs it comes back to left auricle. So left auricle to left ventricle, from left ventricle to the different parts of the. So this is how the flow of blood takes place inside the heart. So let us move on to the internal structure. Two left chambers are separated from the two right by the partition, fibrous in nature, called arterial partition, or you can say internal arterial septum. Partitioning separating two ventricles is known as interventricular septum. Its upper 1/4 part is fibrous, while the lower 3/4 part is muscular, because it has to pump the blood out of the heart. So ventricles are a bit thicker than the auricles. This is give reasons why ventricles are a bit thicker than auricles, because ventricles are the pumping chambers, while the auricles are receiving chambers. Auricles are receiving chambers, and ventricles are pumping chambers. So it requires to pump the blood out of the heart. So their muscles, so their walls are muscular. So their muscles are a bit tough and bit hard and bit fibrous, and it requires to pump the blood out of the heart, so it is little bit more muscular. Anyway, we move on to the we move on to the another point. Left and right auricles are separated by the interarterial, or you can say interauricular septum. So now let me draw the diagram here. This is the heart here and here, this part. Okay, so this one is right auricle, this one is left auricle, this one is right ventricle, and this one is left ventricle. So this septum between the auricles is known as auricular septum. This septum between the ventricles is known as ventricular septum. This septum which is between the auricles and ventricles is known as auriculoventricular septum. So the septum which is between the auricles, partition between the auricles, is known as auricular septum. Partition between the ventricle is known as ventricular septum, and the partition between the auricles and ventricle is known as auriculoventricular septum. Now, in auricle septum, do you want me to draw once again? Okay, let me draw it in this manner, in a square form. Okay, this is known as auricular septum, this one is known as ventricular septum, and this one is known as auriculoventricular septum. Understood? So here a depression on the septum, this septum means talking about this one. So in a depression can be seen in an adult stage, which is known as fossa ovalis. An opening called foramen ovale is present in this area at the fetal stage. So at the fetal stage there was a hole, there was an aperture, and slowly it got healed here and it forms a depression which is known as fossa ovalis. Right auricle receives deoxygenate. This is what we have seen in the previous episode as well as right now also we have seen. Right auricle is going to receive deoxygenated blood from superior vena cava, from the upper part of the body, through inferior vena cava, from the middle and the lower part of the body, and coronary sinus, which brings blood from the heart walls to the auricular chamber of the heart. Now, superior vena cava, where it opens inside the heart, inside the right auricle, has a valve, and that valve is known as Eustachius valve, while coronary sinus has a valve known as Thebesius valve. So if I draw the figure here of the heart, so let me draw the figure of the heart so you can understand better. So if I draw the figure of the heart like this, suppose conical shape, okay, here and here, so here and here and here. So this is inferior vena cava, this one is superior vena cava, this one is coronary sinus. So coronary sinus at this point has a valve. Let me change the color. Okay, here. So here there is Thebesius valve, and here there is Eustachius valve. So inferior vena cava and superior vena cava both are mingling together and opening into the right auricle. So here it possesses the valve. Okay, let me rub it out. Okay, shall I draw it once again, but the color will be different. So let me draw. Okay, so color. Okay, here this one. So here. Okay. So this one is coronary sinus, and this one is superior vena cava, this one is inferior vena cava. Superior and inferior vena cava, both of them unite together and opens into the right auricle, and coronary sinus also opens into the right auricle. Now the valve present here is known as Thebesius valve, and the valve present here is known as Eustachius valve. So Eustachius valve is controlling the flow of blood coming from the superior and inferior vena cava, and Thebaceous valve controls the flow of blood coming from the coronary sinus. This one is superior vena cava, this one is inferior vena cava, and this one is coronary sinus. So I hope you understood. Once again, inferior and superior vena cava, both of them combine together and open into the right auricle. So this one is right auricle, this one is left auricle, this one is right ventricle, and this one is left ventricle. So right auricle has two openings. One opening coming from the superior and inferior vena cava, which is controlled by the Eustachius valve, and another opening is of coronary sinus and has a controller, that is Thebaceous valve. I hope I made it simple. Then also, if you have any doubts, please let me know. The left auricle receives oxygenated blood from the lungs through 4 pulmonary veins, that is oxygenated vein. The left and right ventricles are separated by the interventricular septum. The ventricles is larger with an extra thick walls as compared to the right one, because it has to pump the blood to the rest part of the body. The inner wall of the ventricle possesses a network of small and large muscular projections called columnae carneae and musculin papillars, or you can say papillary muscles. This is 1 mark question because it is holding the fibrous muscular tissues known as chordae tendineae. This chordae tendineae checks the opening of AV valves. So this is 1 mark question. You have to be very careful. I'll come to that point once I come to the on the slide. The wall of right ventricle contains moderator band that extends between the upper papillary muscles and the interventricular septum. Auricles opens into ventricles through arterioventricular apertures controlled by the valves. So these valves I am talking about. So these valves are two. Number 1, tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve. So tricuspid valve is present. So if I draw the diagram here like this, this is right auricle, this is left auricle, this is right ventricle, this one is left ventricle. So I'll change the color so that you can understand the valve. So valve present here is tricuspid valve. Hold on. Tricuspid valve, and the valve present here is known as bicuspid valve. So these two valves together, so valves are present where? At the auriculoventricular septum. So these valves are also known as auriculoventricular valves. So I hope you understood. Where is the location of tricuspid valve? Between right auricle and right ventricle. Where is the location of bicuspid valve? Between left auricle and left ventricle. So I was talking about these papillary muscles, that is chordae tendineae. It will come in the next slide, but I am going to show you here. So here, this is what the chordae tendineae does. So here, this is tricuspid valve, this one is bicuspid valve, and chordae tendineae checks whether the tricuspid valve and bicuspid valves are closed properly or not. So that is a function of chordae tendineae. So let us move on to the next side. Here, see chordae tendineae. So this is the chordae tendineae. It is connected to what? Papillary muscles, and their functions are given here. Okay, let me read. These AV valves flaps are kept in the position. See, in position. That is what the function of chordae tendineae is, to keep the flaps in position. The opening and closing of the AV valves. Which are the AV valves? Tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve. So the position of the flaps. Tricuspid is a 3-flap valve and bicuspid is a 2-flap valve. Bicuspid valve is also known as mitral valve. So all these valves opening and closing is checked by chordae tendineae. So this is 1 mark question. So this one is 1 mark question. 1 mark question. Okay, anyway. Papillary muscles. The chordae tendineae are tendinous cords together. They are as heartstrings resembling fibrous cords of connective tissue that connect the papillary muscles to the tricuspid valve and the mitral valve, that is bicuspid valve in the heart, and make sure that the AV valve closes properly to prevent the backflow of the blood. So this is the another function of chordae tendineae, to make sure to prevent the closing of the backflow of the blood and closes of the AV valves properly or not. So this is 1 mark question. It is important from the examination point of view. Okay, let us move. Pulmonary trunk arising from the right ventricle and aorta arising from the left ventricle is guarded by a ring of 3 moon shaped valves, that is semilunar valves. So here you will be having, so here drawing diagram here. So pulmonary trunk arises here, so it has a valve, it is semilunar valve, and here it aorta arises from the left ventricle. This is left ventricle, this is right ventricle. So from right ventricle there is a valve in the pulmonary trunk known as semilunar valve. Left ventricle arising the aorta, it has a valve known as semilunar valve. They are the 3 half moon shaped valves. Some of the things that you will come across after this internal structure of the heart, that is SA node and AV node, because SA node and AV node are also a part of the internal structure of the heart. The average heartbeat in an adult is 72 per minute. So 72 beats per minute, 72 beats. So here I have not mentioned beats, so you have to write down beats. 72 beats per minute. And how it is done? It is brought by the SA node. What is SA node? SA node is sino-auricular node. So if I draw the diagram here, so this is the diagram. From the top, Stachys valve, remember, just next to Stachys valve here. So let me change the color. So here you will be seeing the sino-auricular node. The function of sino-auricular node is to bring the contraction of auricles and to start the heartbeat. From there, once again I have to draw the diagram. So here there is SA node, here it is AV node. Both of them, SA node, this is SA node and this one is AV node. Both the nodes are lying in the right auricle. This is the right auricle, and both of them are actually helping in the contraction and relaxation of heart. So contraction, SA node, and afterwards it is going to be what? AV, which is going to bring the contraction of. So once this one time finishes, it relaxes, then the time of AV node comes. So the impulse passes from SA node to AV node, and AV node is passing impulses to the His and Purkinje nerve fibers which are located on the walls of ventricles. We'll see that one afterwards. So AV node, auriculoventricular node, it is also called pace setter. It is situated between the right auricle and right ventricle near the interauricular septum. AV node is connected to the bundle of His, that is His and Purkinje fibers. His are on the septum between the ventricles, and AV bundles or Purkinje fibers which originates from the bundle of His and enters into the walls of ventricle. And the function of AV node and His and Purkinje nerve fiber is to bring the contraction of ventricles. So this is about the SA node and AV node. They are asking 1 mark question from SA node and 1 mark question from AV node, either in a form of differences or the location or the functions. So you may have full form or another name of SA node. Sometimes they ask full form of SA node, SAN, so sino-auricular node. AVN, auriculoventricular node. What is another name of SA node? Pacemaker. What is another node of AV node? Pace setter. Where is the location of SA node? Just near the opening of superior vena cava near Stachys valve. What is its function? To bring contraction of auricles. Where is the location of AV node? At the interauricular septum. Interarterial septum, yeah, interauricular septum. So that is the location. What is the function of AV node? The AV node brings the contraction of ventricles along with His and Purkinje nerve fibers. Where is the location of His? On the AV bund or on the AV septum, or you can say on the septum between the ventricles. Where is Purkinje fibers located? Purkinje fibers are located on the walls of ventricles. So this is all about the SA node and AV node. Now let us see few things related to the important part of the topic of internal structure of heart, that is neurogenic heart and myogenic heart. Neurogenic heart impulse for the heartbeats comes from the nerve from where or nearby ganglion from where the heartbeat starts, that is the ganglion. While myogenic heart, the modified muscular tissues or the nodal tissues in the heart muscles initiates the electrochemical impulses to control the heartbeat, while in neurogenic it is through the ganglions. In the myogenic it is through the muscles. Here example for the neurogenic is arthropodas and annelids, while in myogenic examples are mollusks and heartbeat. Now there are patterns of circulation. The types of circulation that is found in the mammals is two: systematic circulation, not in the mammals but in the other organisms also, but basically in mammals it is very easy to identify. So two patterns are there: systemic circulation and pulmonary circulations. Patterns of circulations are there in other organisms, but they are not like systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation, because they are having 2-chamber heart and 3-chamber heart. This is possible for 4-chamber heart. So this is basically related to the mammals. This one, double circulation, is related to the mammals, and one exception is that is crocodile. So that's why I said that you can see in the different organism, but not like what we are observing in the mammals. So patterns of circulation: systemic circulation, it begins with the left ventricle and ends in right auricle. So now if you read all these things, it becomes easy for you, but let me show you the diagram. So in the diagram it goes like this: double circulation. What is the meaning of double circulation? It is a type of circulation where heart receives blood twice and pumps out twice. Now how it is? So now if you see here, in this one, the heart first time receives blood from the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and coronary sinus. What sort of blood it is? Deoxygenated blood. Then from right auricle, the blood is entering into right ventricle, and afterwards first time it is going to give out the blood. So first time it is receiving, and first time it is giving blood to the lungs for purification. After purification, the blood is entering into the heart. So second time, so this is first time and this is second time. So first time it is receiving and second time is receiving. First time is receiving is deoxygenated one, and the second time is receiving is the oxygenated one. So how many times the heart is receiving blood? 2 times. And first time it is giving out, so this is first time, so I am marking as A, and the second time is giving out, that is I am marking as B. So first time is giving out the blood to the lungs, and second time it is giving out through the aorta to the body organs. So how many times the blood is been heart is receiving blood, or blood is been entering into the heart and been given out? 2 times. So that's why this type of circulation is considered as a double circulation. So in this one, if you observe carefully, in this part lungs are separate. So here I have mentioned aorta, arteries and body organs, but in body organs lungs are not involved, because it has a special sort of a chain, special sort of a circulation, and that circulation where the lungs are involved is known as pulmonary circulation. So pulmonary circulation is a part of double circulation where lungs are involved. So what is pulmonary circulation? Pulmonary circulation is a part of double circulation. Pulmonary circulation, see here I have mentioned double circulation is equal to systemic circulation plus pulmonary circulation. So pulmonary circulation is a part of double circulation where lungs are involved, while systemic circulation is a part of double circulation where lungs are not involved. Other organs are there, but lungs are not there. So that is what this is about, the pattern of circulation: systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. If you see another one, in the pulmonary circulation, it starts with right ventricle, ends with left auricle, while systemic circulation it starts with left ventricle and ends with right auricle. So this is all about the double circulation. The next one is a heartbeat. The heartbeat is a rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the muscles of the heart. Systole, that means contraction of the heart, and diastole, that means relaxation of the heart. The heart rests only during the short interval between the contractions. The heart has an inbuilt capacity to contract rhythmically without any external stimulus. The next topic is cardiac cycle. What is cardiac? See, again the word cycle comes. Cycle means sequential events. So the event that occurs in the heart during one heartbeat, that is pumping and relaxation, that is systole and diastole together, that is along with the relaxation. So systole, diastole and relaxation together is known as cardiac cycle. So I have given the definition very simple manner. Cardiac cycle is a sequential events occurring in the heart during one heartbeat, which includes auricular systole, ventricular systole and joint diastole with a time duration of 8 seconds. So if you see here it starts with auricular systole, so which is very of short duration. So the contraction of auricles followed by the contraction of ventricles, and then complete diastole, or you can say the joint diastole takes place. So we'll see the events about auricular systole and ventricular systole and joint diastole in the next slide. So here if you see here auricular systole, let me zoom out, okay, here. So auricular systole, SA node brings the contraction of auricles. Auricles contract. Tricuspid and bicuspid valves are open because auricles are contracting. Deoxygenated blood from the right auricle enters into the, so if I draw the diagram here, so this is a normal part of the heart when the SA node, because this one is brought, the auricular systole is brought by SA node. See, first point, SA node brings the contraction. So this SA node brings the contraction of auricles. This is auricles, this is auricles. So how does it look like? The normal ventricles are going to be normal. So these are the ventricles. This one is right ventricle and this one is left ventricle. But here contraction of auricles are taking place. So this is right auricle, this one is left auricle. So auricles have contracted. Here tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve opens. So tricuspid and bicuspid valve has opened. Then once again, this is the normal heart. During the contraction, the auricles are contracted, ventricles remains as it is. So this is right ventricle, left ventricle. This one is right auricle and this one is left auricle. So the tricuspid and bicuspid valve will open. So the deoxygenated blood from right auricle enters into the right ventricle and oxygenated blood from left auricle enters to left ventricle. Same thing you can see during the ventricular systole. But in ventricular systole, what happens? The auricles are going to remain same, the size, while ventricles are going to contract. So here right ventricle supplies blood to lungs through pulmonary artery and left ventricle is going to supply blood to the body organs through aorta. At that time semilunar valves are going to open and tricuspid and bicuspid valve is going to close, which is going to produce first sound known as lub. So if you see, then it becomes easy. If you see and try to understand, it becomes easy. While in joint diastole, all the chambers are going to relax. So the semilunar valves, which was supplying blood through its opening from the pulmonary trunk and aorta, is now going to relax and it is going to close, and it is going to form the second sound, which is dub. So this is for the joint diastole. When joint diastole takes place, dub sound is heard. When ventricular systole takes place, lub sound is heard. The time duration for auricular systole is 0.1 second, for ventricular is 0.3 seconds, and for joint diastole it is 0.4 seconds. So this is all about the cardiac cycle. Heart sounds. Each heartbeat has two sounds, lub and dub. First sound takes place by the contraction of ventricular systole, or you can say contraction of ventricles, and due to closure of AV valves. Second sound, dub, takes place due to the closure of semilunar valves during joint diastole. One heartbeat is completed in about 0.8 seconds, that is one cardiac cycle. Tachycardia and bradycardia are the conditions where abnormally rapid heartbeat and slow heartbeat is seen. In tachycardia, heartbeat is fast, and in bradycardia, heartbeat is slow. Let us see the last part of the topic, origin of the heartbeat. In all vertebrates, heartbeat is originated by muscles. That's why they are known as myogenic heart, and through sino-auricular node, that is pacemaker. I hope you understood the whole part of the internal structure of heart as well as cardiac cycle and the definition of heartbeat and certain terms. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will try to explain once again, or maybe try to answer your questions in the comment box. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for your patience.